Hi YouTube, here I am reporting live from the basement again. Here to do a video for the Haves and Have-Nots, Season 4, Episode 3. Tonight's episode was very eventful. So, starts out right off where we left off, which I love that, with Quincy holding on to Candace's ankle. So, at this point, I'm like, okay, this is going to be like crazy, like freaky, if he gets up, like he survived all these different like life-threatening situations and then he gets up and kills her. Like, then I'm gonna hate the show. But of course it didn't happen like that. He's begging for help, and then we find out a little bit of background information, as far as like basically he tried to kill her. He did lie to her and say that he killed his son, but that really wasn't the case, which, if you guys remember first season, Hannah kept asking, where is little Quincy? And Candace had said that Quincy killed him, and she was like, I knew she was a liar, I knew he wasn't dead, but she really wasn't lying. Like, apparently Quincy did tell her that, but whatever the case, so he decides to beg for help and call an ambulance. I have his medicine, and he's gonna die. If I die, we're both gonna die, because I have the medicine. I take it from the hospital. And she's like, what are you talking about? If he needed medicine, the doctors would have told me about that. You're lying. I'm gonna sit there and watch you die, and I'm not gonna call an ambulance for you, just like you didn't call one for me when basically I guess there was a time where she died. So, and I guess he had like choked her and all of this stuff. So they have like a very, very, very like dangerous background with each other, and now I completely understand why she's so scared of him. Anywho, moving on to the next scene, which I don't even know if I'm going in order, but Jeffrey and this police officer. Now, I'm gonna tell you, like, a show has never like pissed me off as much as this part of the show pissed me off. Like, I was like sickening to watch. Like, I wanted to like throw up. It was like like physical rape, but this wasn't like physical rape. It was like mental like rape to me. And it was just like, it like hurt me to watch the police officer. He clearly like, he hates gay people, but he hates gay people because on the inside he's feeling that way, so he hates himself for it. So he was gonna try to take it out on Jeffrey by having him do something against his own will, and he is law enforcement. And like, I think Tyler Perry tries to bring out certain things that are happening in today's like real time, and so like police brutality is not just like being like brutal towards like an unarmed black male. Like, police brutality could also be like a type of like sexual abuse as well, and those types of things could be happening. So I think that Tyler Perry was trying to bring that out, because of course you don't think about those things in like your everyday life, or you don't hear about those things on the news, but it was just like really like sickening and sad, because like I really felt for Jeffrey, and it's horrible because he always ends up like at the wrong place at the wrong time, and he just ends up in really bad situations, and it just seems like Jeffrey just can't catch a break. And I feel like his character is like a good-hearted person, but it's gonna turn him into an evil person, because his mom like loathes his like existence completely. He like was put in a bad situation with Quincy. Then Quincy had beat him up one time, and then like there's just so much that he goes through. Wyatt like plays with his head, like it's just too much. And so I'm curious to see the character development of Jeffrey. Anyways, basically he was saved by a phone call from the police station, and the police has to immediately take him in. So that was great news, because it kind of like got him free from the situation. And the police kind of threatened him like, basically, don't tell on me or I'm gonna flip it on you. I'm telling you, I would tell immediately. I'd be like, hey, you want me to get on the stand and say this and that and testify against my parents? Well, then I need this man behind bars. Okay. Anywho, Veronica, Catherine, of course, like Maggie had leaked the pictures of Veronica and Benny, and so the DA sees these pictures because they're going around through an email, and the DA tells another police officer, hey, make sure that the Harringtons and the Criers see this newspaper, even if it's by accident. So, because technically they're not supposed to be able to see that type of information. So it gets dropped off, and Veronica just doesn't want to talk about it, but she sees what Maggie's doing. She knows that this was done by Maggie simply because Maggie confronted her with these pictures before. And then the story is basically set up, the story is basically set up to make it look like David Harrington has nothing to do with this, and it's all the Criers' fault, and basically it's getting it set up so that David can get out of jail, and the rest of them will remain in jail until they can get a court date. So Jim was also talking about it and how horrible of a person Veronica is. At that point, David hadn't seen the picture. Then he saw the picture, and he's like hurt to the core. Like, it's really sad because David is like a great guy at heart too. Anyways, moving on to Wyatt. Let me get him out the way because he really pissed me off to the highest level of pissivity. So it's like he didn't learn his lesson. You basically were getting away with murder, and then all of a sudden you decide, oh, I'm free, I have the house to myself, let me get high, I'm gonna sell all my parents' jewelry. But your dealer didn't want that. Your dealer wanted cash, so you give your parents credit cards instead. Anything for a hit, I guess. And then the dealer shows him a huge stash of drugs, and it's worth 80,000, did he say, or 800,000? I don't know. But he's like, hey, let's do it together. And he's like, my inheritance is coming in. You stupid. Why would you believe him? He's going to be under the influence. How would you even know that you're guaranteed that money? So you're putting your life on the line off of his word. It was just stupid. First of all, the whole thing was crazy anyway. He shouldn't have been in that situation. You hit a guy and you killed a little girl, and you're still going to go back and do the same thing. But you're an addict, so I guess that's all they think about. But, it was just really sad. He's inviting more people over. I think that's going to backfire on him, because then there's witnesses that will be able to witness the fact that, yeah, he is using. So whatever little concoction you have, that when you pee in a cup, it'll show that you have no drugs in your system. That's not going to count for anything if you have witnesses. But anywho, then there is Maggie. She's still tripping, lusting over him. Who am I missing? Oh, Benny. So he's trying to run this tow truck company and all this, and so he brings over one of his friends, Mitch, I believe, and then he brings over War, and so he's we need to go legit, and he keeps throwing out all these digits, Candace bought this place, and the Mitch guy was well, it was worth $500,000. Mind you, Candace told War that she only got $400,000, and she gave him $150,000. Now, this is how people act. If you give people a cut of your money, say you give somebody $500, but they found out that you got $3,000, so they're gonna be well, why you only give me $500? But it's their deal. But whatever the case, so War is heated. He's give me Candace's address. Benny, stupid, why would you give him the address? This is still your sister at the end of the day. Either you should have went with him or whatever. So now, he shows up at Candace's door. He's, choking her out, and then realizes Quincy is on the floor dead because Candace watched him die. And I'm oh my gosh, what is going to happen? All these cliffhangers are killing me, but it is juicy, baby. I love it. So, any predictions for me for next week? I don't know. I think all of a sudden, Candace, she's going to have to start, giving some answers. All the Harringtons are going to start being pitted against each other. And, this story could go either way. Hannah, she's going to have to move in with Benny because the caseworker, she's going to come and pick up the little boy. The little boy was in cold sweats, and I don't know what medicine they were giving him. I don't know, but I hope he's okay because that would be horrible if he died. And meanwhile, Quincy's phone is at Candace's house. It's going to be tracked. Everybody's going to show up there. Tyler Perry, call me. Thanks for watching. MrsBlogaholic.com. Bye.